Bank of America said Tuesday that it will raise the hourly minimum wage of its employees by 2025 to $25 an hour. It costs us a few $100 million a year, but it's an investment. The bank CEO, Brian, said. It's not the first time Bank of America has raised its minimum wage for its employees. In 2017, the bank raised its minimum wage to $15 an hour. 2 years later, the company announced it would lift all that level to $20 an hour for the upcoming 2 years, and so did the schedule now being with an increase that impacted more than 200,000 workers. Last month, Biden signed an executive order lifting minimum wage for federal contractors workers to $15 an hour in early 2022 from the current level of $10.95. Meanwhile, other banks are also raising wages, albeit not as aggressively. JP Morgan Chase announced 2018 that it would increase its minimum wage from $15 to $18 an hour for 22,000 employees, depending on their local cost of living. Citigroup raised its minimum wage from $15 an hour to $15 an hour in 2019. So $25 an hour. Is Bank of America really raising their minimum wage to $25 an hour? Or, Tom, are they saying, we just want better pool of talent that we're paying for? We're willing to pay $50,000 an hour, because $50,000 a year, because at $50,000 a year, we're going to get a 4-year degree, we're going to get experience, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. And is this a good marketing campaign, Tom, for B of A?
I think it's a populist marketing campaign around the simple phrase $25. However, what you accurately point out is that there will be talent competing for those jobs. And by the way, by 2025, you know, the number of humans that are in, you know, bank individual branches down the street is dropping. You know, there's so much, all banking is being automated, so much is done online. I mean, you know, you take a look at that.
You mean operation goes lower because you
so these are going to this is going to be people in headsets and call centers, because the corner branches, I mean, they're harder and harder to find. And
by the way, that's actually a very good question. Can we ask a question here? When's the last time you went to a branch?
Last time I went to a branch, it was I was forced to, and what I was forced to is
like a gun to your head type.
No. Kim and I were
bank
making
rob situation.
Kim and I made a transaction, and they had to have a bank check. So I had to go in and get a cashier's check and then FedEx it.
Last 6 months, how many times have you been in? That's a better question.
0.
Okay, so 0 last 6 months.
If I didn't have to be going and get a cashier's check because we had a large transaction,
once in 6
I
months.
wouldn't have gone in.
How about yourself?
All my needs were taken care of.
Maybe once a quarter.
How many in the last 6 months have you been in the branch, Caroline? 0? Not even once? Sam? Maybe once? Nothing? Once? 0, Kai? Kai, we can't hear you, Kai. We can't hear you, Kai.
I'm turned on.
Go ahead.
Get it together, Kai. What's going on over there, buddy?
My bank doesn't even have a branch here, so.
Damn, I don't even got, my bank don't even have branches. That's how good my bank is.
Okay, if
so ultimately,
hang on, let me ask the audience. I'm actually
but the
curious.
first time you see Helsinki Federal, you'll know that's where Kai's headed.
If you're watching this, when in the last 6 months, how many times have you walked into a branch at a bank? I'm actually curious. Comment. We're watching your comments. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead, Tom.
No, so I think this is basically,
I
think this is going to be call centers and basic processors and these large.
50K minimum.
Yep, and 50K minimum.
Not a bad gig.
It's probably going to be, there's going to be a lot of people competing for those $50,000 a year jobs.
Here's what we did. If you remember, just 5.5 years ago, we're in Texas, and we're going through hiring people, and Texas minimum wage is $7.20. One day I sat there and I said, guys, we're not doing this anymore. Moving forward, we're hiring $15 an hour. And we started hiring $15 an hour, and the quality went in a better direction. So it's not you're increasing your minimum wage to me. It's what you're saying is we are willing to pay more money for better employees. By the way, to the people of the minimum wage community, B of A, what B of A did to the minimum wage community said, whether you like to increase the minimum wage or not, we don't care what you think. We are willing to pay more for better talent. So the market has to compete to get these jobs, and then the market has to improve to keep these jobs. B of A is not saying, our minimum wage is going to be this much. No, B of A is saying, we're only looking at hiring people that are worth $50,000 or more. That's what they're saying.
That's correct.
If you are not worth $50,000 or more, we're not hiring you. That's what they're saying. But the interpretation and the way you sell the story, it's kind of like, you know, it's a $25 minimum wage. America may be at $15, but we're going to be at $25 minimum wage. Great marketing. But I think B of A, smart, what's going to cost them $100 million? What's $100 million? A few $100 million to B of A. Nothing. They make billions on top of billions on interest. Adam, any thoughts on your end?
Yeah, I think this comes down to one of your favorite words ever, which is competition. So they're competing with the Chases of the world and the Wells Fargos of the world and the Citigroups of the world. And they're basically drawing a line in the sand and saying, we're better, we'll pay more, we're looking for better talent. And I think something that it's very important to point out, minimum wage,
Yep.
talk about this. What are the key words in this? Wage, obviously your pay, and minimum, absolute lowest, bottom of the barrel, minimum. You get the minimum pay, you get the minimum effort, absolute minimum. Something that I've come to recognize since being with Valuetainment for the last year or so is that minimum wage, the whole fact that it's actually bullshit. It's
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
I went there.
Watch your language,
I'm
buddy.
trying. I try my best.
Oh
but
my gosh.
Soy boy on fire.
The
Keep
fact
going.
that $7.25 is an absolute minimum.
Yeah.
Who the hell is taking that job? Like, you're either a high school kid, or you are lucky to even be in this country, or you're just willing to accept the absolute minimum because your skill set is less than desirable, let's say. So the fact that this is definitely something, you would hear, this is an evolution of thought. Minimum wage, they should be paying more. Corporations should be paying more.
Yeah.
They should pay their
No,
fair
man,
share.
that's not how it
This
works.
comes down to the individual. If you're 40 years old and you're still somehow making minimum wage, dude, what are you doing with your life? Right? So this is more about the individual recognizing.
Totally agree.
I'm better than this.
Yep.
They're only paying minimum wage. I guess that's what they're paying.
Yep.
What kind of a loser are you?
Wow.
Right? Yeah, I'm fired up. This microwavable.
By the way,
this
yesterday-
microwavable tea just got me fired up.
Yesterday I'm at Love's, or 2 days ago I'm at Love's with Jen. We're eating
Yeah.
at Love's. This guy stops by, Range Rover, nice looking Range Rover. I think his name was Jeremy. Maybe it was with a J. Gave me his business card. Said, "Man, I love the podcast. I'm watching all the podcasts. I'm watching all your stuff. Love the fact that you're in What do you call it? I'm in Boca, and we're glad to have you here. All this other stuff." And I said, "Great." He says, "By the way, it's great also watching a podcast with Adam." I said, "Tell me why." He says, "Because I've watched all the episodes, and I've seen Adam changed over the last 60 episodes. So people are seeing an evolution."
Yeah.
In our buddy here, Adam Sosnick, and we're working on Adam
If you're-
potentially one day running for governor in Florida the next 20 years.
Probably not.
Charming,
However,
charismatic,
Yeah.
good-looking, well-spoken, sense of humor.
and I don't need
With
the
the right
accolades.
team
I don't need
behind
the accolades.
you, with
Yeah.
the right team behind
Thank you,
you,
Pat.
who knows, man? Governor
with Pat,
Sauce.
There you go.
With Pat behind you, you can go anywhere. You can do anything.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.